Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing. It's precision crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Help is at hand. Actually, now 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can ask questions of us at 835-935-TALK anytime. 835-935-8255. Give us a call. We'll try to help you understand how money works and how investing works and share our opinions and perspectives based on lots and lots of academic research. 855-935-TALK is the number, 855-935-8255. I'm Don. That's Tom. And on the phone is Crystal. Hi, Crystal. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi.
Hi. What's up?
I'm trying to help
really
a
serious.
young person
Yes,
who
ma'am.
has their very first earned income, and I want to help them get a Roth IRA. The challenge is the amount of money is less than $500, and most of the vehicles that I can find require $500 or $1,000 to open some kind of a Roth IRA investment. So I'm looking for what might be the best options for this person until they have enough to do a bigger investment type scenario.
And what's the minimum on the Escobar Bitcoin diet Bitcoin? It's
$2.
$2. You
right
can
now.
buy Bitcoin.
$2.
That's easy. 250 of them. Boom.
No.
Actually,
I want to
I
talk
have a
about
much
real
better-
money.
I'm sorry. I was teasing
She
you
wants
there.
to talk about real money.
Okay, Crystal.
What's the name of the show? Not the talking fake money show.
Good point.
All
Good
right,
point.
Crystal, I have a solution for you.
Great.
Go to Vanguard. Set up a Roth, a self-directed Vanguard Roth.
How
through
old
their
is
brokerage.
the young person?
Oh, yeah, good question.
18.
Good, perfect.
Okay, that'll work.
Woohoo.
Yep.
Set up a Roth, a brokerage Roth with Vanguard. You can do it online, and then buy at least one share of the ETF, symbol being VT.
V is in victory. T is in Tom.
The Vanguard
He is
Total
in
World,
victory.
T is in Tom.
not Virginia Tech, as my wife
Oh,
would
my
like you to
goodness,
think.
No, please no.
I type in VT and Virginia Tech came up. I went,
VT, it is one ETF that owns thousands of companies around the world and does it at what is the expense ratio?
you know, that is a great
It is
question. Let's see what it is
so
these days.
inexpensive that it's actually ridiculous. And as Don said, the only minimum is the ability to buy one share of that ETF.
Which right now is
So that's-
$73.63.
Okay.
And the expenses are 0.1% per year, which is dirt cheap. They hold currently 7,885 stocks in the portfolio from all around the world. It is about the diversification is about as good as you can get. And the wonderful thing about it is, for all intents and purposes, there's no minimum and there are no account fees.
Not
cool.
chipping away with you in some other method where other places would, by the way, they'd have a $50 a year, IRA fee. No, there's none of that silliness. So,
Exactly.
yeah. I think that's a great place to start. Vanguard.com, open the Roth IRA, and then buy VT.
So you don't have to have a minimum to open the Roth
One share.
IRA.
Nope.
One share. One share.
So it's like an account that sits there with funds in it, and you purchase.
You purchase the
Like,
shares. Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Yep.
Okay, as you can.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah. It's awesome.
All right.
It's awesome. And then there's one other really awesome new service coming out from Acorns. Again, two companies that are so cheap they can't pay us anything. And we don't want money from them.
I'm
We're kidding.
kidding.
The other one is Acorns, and Acorns is starting a new service any
they've
minute
been
now.
promising this
it's
for a
called
long time.
Acorns Later, and it's an Acorns Roth IRA, and the way you can fund it is from spare change, basically, in your accounts.
You just hook it up to a bank account or a credit card as you purchase things. They round it up to a certain amount and take that money out of your bank account and or off your credit card and put it right into the Acorns account. And in this case, it'd be qualified money, an IRA or a Roth IRA, which is absolutely terrific. So that'd be another way to get people going.
And a very diversified portfolio there, too. Okay?
Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You're set 2 ways to Sunday.
Well, and here's I hate to bring this up because you know how much we love Vanguard.
Then don't do it.
I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm going to do it anyway. You don't need to be a naysayer.
No
naysaying.
Nattering nabob of negativism.
Negativity, yes.
No, I mean, the thing is that Vanguard has been a little struggling, it appears, under the groan of fast growth. $370 billion of money flowed into Vanguard last year. They are now over $5 trillion they manage.
Wow.
So there's a piece in the Journal yesterday talking about there's a lot of people complaining about sort of the administration issues they've had about proper you log in, maybe your account didn't look right, or a transfer didn't happen, or a sale didn't go as quickly. And there's a company actually that looked at sentiment expressed on Twitter that says they're now lower. More complaints about them than Charles Schwab or Fidelity, 2 other very large custodians. I only mention this because we spend a lot of this program talking about how great Vanguard is. We use their funds, by the way, and we've seen no trouble with their funds, but we don't use them as a custodian. I think these sound more like custodial issues than mutual fund issues.
It's interesting. Vanguard has $5 trillion under management. The annual GDP of Japan is just under $5 trillion. Does that put it in perspective? Wow, they could buy Japan. We're talking real money.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
If you need help allocating your retirement plan at work, you can get free help at 401-411.com. That's 401-411.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
I'm Don McDonald. That's Tom Cock. This is Talking Real Money, the number you need to know 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When a question about money comes to mind is 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. And that number is almost magical because it brings you to the show on Como on Saturday, and then when we switch over to KVI Live, it switches right with us, so you can call us live over there. And then when we're done with that, it switches to this fancy schmancy voicemail system where you can leave like up to 10-minute questions
Please
that
don't.
we will then take and leave all the detail we need. And then we'll answer those questions and put them up on a brand new podcast, the first of which went up last week at TalkingRealMoney.com and also at all the major podcast services like Apple Podcasts. So it's really great. You get your questions answered all the time this way. All the time.
And we've answered questions. We've discussed blockchain. We answered a question about sort of asset allocation with Leslie. We just got off the phone with Crystal talking about how to get a young person started, where it can do that for a very low minimum. And going back to blockchain, because it's not enough to have the Escobars involved. Apparently an 11-year-old has got a great idea around this as well, Don.
Well, I was really shocked when I heard this last week. An 11-year-old kid who is a big video gamer, as most kids are. And I am aware of this. I don't participate, so I don't really know about it. But apparently when you play certain video games, you can pay money to get advantages in the game. Real money.
Wow.
Problem is when you pay money to one game and then, as this kid said, you get bored playing that game, your money's still stuck in the account on that game. You can't get it out. So he invented, along with his father, a new cryptocurrency called quarters. Quarters like you put in a video game.
Yes.
It is a cryptocurrency designed specifically to play video games and be transferable between video games. Now, this isn't for Scott. Scott, I get this. This is
Makes
actually
sense.
This is a cryptocurrency that is solving a problem. The other cryptocurrencies aren't solving a problem. The problem was non-transferability between these various games. If this kid and his father can get these companies to accept quarters as their, but they've only gotten a few to do it. It's like, how many games is it now? It is 7 games now. Accept them as interchangeably. One of them, which is a game my daughter plays a lot, which is called Flappy. It's about a bird. It's a bird game. It flies. I don't know what it does. It flies. But anyway, you can buy quarters from this kid and his father, and you can then use it to play games. And it's a lot like a kind of legitimate Ponzi scheme too.
I haven't seen an adult derided like that since watching I, Tonya last night, but okay.
As the supply of quarters grows.
Yes.
Every time the supply of quarters, if you're one of the early adopters, this is almost as good as Escobar's deal. If you're one of the early adopters, every time the supply of quarters doubles, like let's say they have 10,000 and they get to 20,000, you as an early adopter get 25% more free quarters. So if there's 10,000, you bought 10 quarters, they're going to give you 2.5 quarters every time they double their thing.
Sounds good.
It sounds good. The producers comes to mind. I don't know. I'm getting a little feeling
you
like
own
maybe
25%. You own 25%. You got 40, and you got 70%. We're looking good.
But no, I'm being a little bit facetious. This is really the only good idea I've seen.
Yeah, you like this because it's an application of blockchain that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's the website is pocketfulofquarters.com, which is also clever. And they, too, like Pablo Escobar, Roberto Escobar, have a white paper up on their website.
And it's so funny. As many small lines of, disclaimer?
No, but it's a pretty long white paper. They tell you how it all works, and it's very confusing. But anyway, all of these white papers say confidential, do not distribute, and yet they're on the Internet. Isn't that distributing the thing?
So you can't print them and hand them to somebody, but you can read them online.
I don't know why you couldn't, because I can hit print and there it'll go. They're calling it, they're comparing it to the Chuck E. Cheese tokens, which is a good comparison. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You buy Chuck E. Cheese tokens to play games, and this is the same thing.
Gosh, I haven't been there in 25 years. They're still around, huh?
This is gonna make this kid and his father very wealthy.
Oh, you're killing me. All right.
Well,
so what was the website again?
You know he didn't do this on his own.
What was the website again?
Pocketfulofquarters.com.
So,
but it's a better story, and it's all over the media because it's this cute 11-year-old boy who's telling you why he loves this idea, and he came up with it, and he may have come up with it, but there's no chance he could have created the blockchain stuff. Yeah. Dad's a good marketer, apparently. Dad's a good marketer.
And how big is it so far? Do they know?
This is their draft white paper. It only came out 3/29, so no,
okay.
I don't.
This is very recent.
This is brand new. I mean, and this is a draft of the white paper that came out 3/29, so it's really not. I don't know that you can buy. I don't know. I didn't try to buy anything because I don't play video games.
Me either. Yeah.
I mean, I got enough stuff that wastes my time, like work.
I like reading real books, as you know that. I'm talking about anachronism
and watching I, Tonya.
Yeah, that was entertaining. Straighten me out on a few of the facts of the matter. I guess the facts of the matter, but
facts.
Hard. How do you know?
Facts.
Yeah, how do you know?
Facts, Schmacks.
The facts are that somebody got hurt.
But from a money show perspective, I got to start watching Billions now. It's back.
Billions is back, and by the way, thank you for you were the one who suggested Dirty Money a few months ago. I've been watching that, which you want to. Okay, here's one. Here's a program suggestion. You want to know how sleazy and awful the money management industry is?
Yeah.
No, I mean you really in 1 hour. I mean it's an hour, maybe hour and a half. Go to Dirty Money if you have Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Netflix, and watch Dirty Money and watch the episode on Valiant.
Which is the third episode.
Every single thing you need to know about this business is there. I mean, honestly.
No.
It's horrible.
That's not true.
Well, it's pretty close.
You need to know about 90% of this business.
Okay, well, that's true.
because
it's
there is
just
an
awful.
honest component to this business. It's just lost in the greed. It's lost in the blatant, almost sinful
I
greed.
follow this day to day. I had no idea. Some of you may remember Valiant because they're the people that buy these companies and then jack the prices up of drugs. And I mean, jack up like from $100 a month to $20,000 a month. That is a tiny, tiny, tiny little part of the whole story. It's just awful the way these people act. Oh my goodness!
They invented businesses and they twisted facts. If somebody doesn't go to jail, the system truly is broken. It's a good suggestion, Tom. That is a show people should watch. It's called Dirty Money.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
All right, let's get this break out of the way really quickly. If you're looking for an investment advisor, you need a fee-only, 100% fiduciary, low-cost, science-based advisor. And that describes Vestory. If you'd like to learn more about us, it's really easy. Go to Vestory.com, Vestory.com, or give us a call at 800-386-3004, 800-386-3004. There, that wasn't so bad.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
855-935-TALK. Our number, 855-935-8255. Call that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wherever we are, it will follow us around. It follows us around.
I don't want to get
like
too
our
deep
shadow.
into all this, by the way, but I mean, you mentioned the bad things that were done at Valiant. Beyond that, the fact that Ackman can not just short stocks, because we don't want to get
tell everyone who Ackman is.
I don't want to get too far into this, but
you need to now that you mentioned his name.
Yeah, Bill Ackman, well-known hedge fund guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, I mean, not that you can short stocks, which is
he
essentially
looks like the guy. He looks like the guy in Mad Men.
He looks perfect. Yeah, he does. Like
the white hair.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. He's perfect. He's everything about him.
Perfect
education, look. And he's a gentleman. But a short seller is somebody that's betting against sort of the natural over time rise in stock, individual stock in company stock prices. Okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm the guy. And this is for the record.
Yeah.
I said I wish back in December I could sell Bitcoin short.
That's right. You did. You would have had a lot of money. Whole lot of money.
2,000 down to 7.
That would have made a lot of money.
You're going to be really interested in the next episode, though, of Dirty Money.
Which is?
It's about HSBC, the big bank.
Of course.
Laundering money for a drug cartel.
No, you got to like that.
A la Pablo Escobar.
But here's the thing. I guess
it's his competitor. It's the Sinaloa. They're in Mexico.
They're not as entertaining. Here's the part that I didn't know about.
It's the next Narcos.
That Ackman, he didn't just make bets against. He went out and bought advertising to tell people how bad Herbalife was. He paid people to go write letters to regulators and tell them, hey, they're really doing bad. I mean, they spent like $100 million on all of this to try to bring a company down. Mm-hmm. Horrible. I mean, when I watch
that should be illegal.
Yeah, when you look at it, it's like, I mean, it didn't work, by the way. I mean, and he lost, I think, $500 million. Not as much as he lost on the Valiant deal, which was the $4 billion loss. Wow, that does add up over time, even for Bill Ackman.
Yet, what amazes me is how these people justify their behavior in the name of what I think is a good thing. Capitalism is a good thing.
Right.
Capitalism out of control is a bad thing. I mean, the episode prior to the one called Drug Short, which was about Valiant, was called Payday, and it was about Scott Tucker.
Yeah, I saw that one too. It was good.
Who was a payday loan guy.
He's in federal prison now.
Yeah, and we have very strong opinions about payday loans. Again, it's a terrible, terrible business. Tom interviewed a guy and got yelled at by his mom.
But it probably is why I'm not doing the show anymore on PBS. It was one of the reasons. They hated the fact that when I compared him to a crack dealer. And they didn't like that.
Like being a crack.
He didn't like that. He didn't like that, and station management didn't like it. I liked it, but... And by the way, it wasn't my quote. It was I took the quote from a consumer advocate who I was just waiting for him to say... This is a payday loan person who, by the way, is still in the business. I was waiting for him to say, well, yeah, you think it's bad. Other people, but our customers almost never complain. And I knew the minute he said that, I had this quote from a consumer advocate who said, well, that's true. And crack users rarely complain about their dealers either. So I said that. It was an interesting moment on television. He was unhappy there anyway. So yeah.
Do you still have that episode?
Yeah.
I'd love to see that one.
I saved that one.
I'd like to see that one. Yeah, well, and you know, it's interesting, the comparison, because that's pretty much been the theme of today's show.
It has, in a lot of ways.
Drugs and money.
We started with eggs, we worked our way to drugs, and now we're back into money.
Well,
so.
but we've gotten cocaine and money together twice already.
That's true.
With the drug dealers and then the Sinaloa cartel, and it's funny how all of this goes together. And then, of course, I want to tell everybody, I want to tease the last episode of
Yes.
If you haven't watched Dirty Money, the last episode of this season is called The Confidence Man.
I saw that one too.
You watched that one?
I did. But that had already been done.
Who was that one about?
I don't want to say that a certain politician who's done very well for himself, allegedly. But that had already been done by, I think it was like CNBC or somebody a year ago. I'd seen the basic facts. He's done really well for himself, but not so well for the people that he's hired, etc. Let's put it that way. Would that be fair? No, it wouldn't be fair.
It would be no.
You can read between the lines and figure out who we're talking about.
From my perspective, it's too fair.
Right.
It's like way too reasonable. But you can tell that we sort of straddle a political fence, Tom and I. 855-935-TALK is the phone number. It'd be fun if we did a political show. 855-935-8255.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Keeping the podcast breaks as painless as possible is my goal. That's why I want to very quickly tell you about the only magazine I've ever heard of that is 100% real investing all the time. There's no business news, no speculative advice, and certainly no lifestyle stuff. It's called Real Investing Journal. I publish it every quarter, and you can get 2 full years for only $25 at realinvestingjournal.com. That's realinvestingjournal.com.
For a really great future. We're talking real money.
We're here to help you build a better future by making money easier to deal with, particularly the investing of your money, because there are so many people out there more than willing to just take you to the cleaners, and not the good cleaners, not the kind that clean your clothes, the kind that steal your money. 855-935-TALK is the phone number, 855-935-8255. You can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we'll either answer you while we're on the show or we'll answer you on the podcast. Okay? 855-935-TALK. Now, Brian, you're up. Welcome to the show.
Hey, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call.
Our pleasure.
I've been a short-time listener here, but I want you to know that quick situation set. 45, married, started with my father-in-law's advice around early 20s of putting money away for retirement. We've got about 600 in a little nest egg right now. Following your direct advice, I have started the process of cashing it all out. I'm going to start buying annuities. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're making our day here, Brian. I know you're having fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some great expensive annuity products we can send you right to.
We're changing our whole business model.
Call us Monday. We'll give you the super secret
indexed annuities.
Yeah. Got that to look forward to.
No, so in all seriousness, following your advice, what I've started to do is trying to evaluate through my advisor. He works for D.A. Davidson. And what I've found is the going through the website searches that you've recommended, I've found about like 1.8, I think, I'm being charged.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sent him an email and started communicating with him, he said, "Oh no, I charged much closer to 1%, but he wouldn't commit to it. So I'm going to fall back."
Wait, whoa! I mean, you should every quarter or every month get a statement from them showing here's how much they charged on the money they're managing for you. That should not be a mystery at all.
This is where I am. I'm uneducated, but I'm doing my best to try and get up to speed on that one. But the reason why I bring that up is to say that when he says 1 or 1.8, whatever, yes, I can go and get in concrete on that. But what I've discovered is going through and looking at some of the funds themselves and getting some data back from Morningstar, I believe is what I'm finding, or U.S. News or something like that on the line. What I'm finding is I'm getting charged for the funds themselves anything from 0.4 or 5 all the way up to 0.9 for administrative and for other fees.
Thank you. We're going to stop you right there. This is a very important thing for people to
2%
understand.
per year you're paying.
Well, at least
1.5
because
to 2.
Yeah, because this is people think, well, I'm only paying my advisor 1%, 1.2, whatever it is, but there's the cost of the mutual funds, the operating expenses. So you're exactly right. There are several ways they're sort of chipping away at your nest egg. You're right on it, Brian.
They're being bolted together, right? It's not
Yep.
like anything's being deferred from one or the other.
Nope.
They're bolted together.
That's
They're
right.
bolted together. You're absolutely right.
And my last question that I wanted to bring up to you guys was, I noticed on a couple of the funds, there are a 1-point deferred sell cost.
Mm-hmm.
As
That's
I go forward today to do what you've done, I've already split the Vanguard side. I'm going to start migrating my wife and I's funds over to that side. As I sell them with him and bring them over and migrate myself over into Vanguard, am I paying 1 point to get this stuff out of there?
Yeah.
You're going to pay him. You're going to pay him, so you may as well get it over with and move on. By the way, the operating expense of the funds you're going to own at Vanguard are going to be much lower. You're not going to be paying a management fee at Vanguard, so you have a lot of advantages there fee-wise. And here's the other part. At Vanguard, you're getting mutual funds that are built on wide diversification. They're built, if you own the right one, on being far more diversified than you are at Davidson, and there's no sales charges of any kind.
And let me add one more "and" to that, Brian. And if you do it right with Vanguard, you're not going to be getting into actively managed funds.
Thank you.
And actively managed funds, one, cost more, and two, show no tendency to outperform. As a matter of fact, they do generally show a tendency to underperform.
Yeah, and I was just talking to a friend today and deferred back to Warren Buffett's most recent, bet that he's $1 million bet for his local charity in his
Everything
hometown.
you need to know about that bet is that the smartest people in the business who run these hedge funds way underperformed an index fund. Not 1 year, not 3 years, not 5 years, 10 years. So this isn't something they just sort of tried for a little bit. And these were the hedge funds picked by the hedge fund industry, the smartest of the smart. They underperformed an index. That's why we believe in indexing for you, for us, and for our clients as well.
Yeah, so
You're
my
on the
target
right
is
track.
to shift over.
Sorry about the annuities, but you're doing the right thing here. So
Yeah, we got to run to a break, but you are definitely on the right track. You make your D.A. Davidson guy mad, but hey, it's your money.
That's
it's
right.
your money. It's
Stop
not
it.
his.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just looking at their ADV. Lots of disciplinary information on their ADV. Holy cow.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
If you're looking for a nice short podcast to tide you over between episodes of Talking Real Money, check out Money 30. Money 30 podcasts are between 2 and 4 minutes long, and they're available at every major podcast service, including Apple Podcasts, or you can visit money30.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
We try to give you the real perspective on real money issues and not play games with you and not lie to you unless, of course, it's a joke, which Tom does all the time, and they're all jokes. He's not serious. 855-935-TALK.
No, I had somebody in my
we are
work-
not selling annuities.
Somebody in my work last night asked me, "Are you serious?" And I had to say, "Yeah."
Oh, because you're
I was refereeing a
work?
high school soccer game, and one of the boys said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yes, I am serious." In this case, I'm serious.
Was that a yellow or a red
It
card?
was nothing. It's Easter weekend. You give everybody a break.
You
Holiday.
didn't give what? Did you give him
No
a yellow
yellows,
egg?
no yellows
a
or
yellow
reds last night.
You
Yellow
know,
egg,
Next
that would've
time,
been-
next time, fill your pouch with eggs.
I like that.
Yellow egg. Okay, it doesn't mean anything because it's an egg.
Take it
okay?
home with
But
you.
Here,
Yeah.
take it home and eat it. 855-935-TALK, our phone number. We're having so much fun. Just wait till we move over to KVI.
Oh yeah, that's coming up in 13
Coming
minutes.
up,
So flip over
just
there.
Wait, yeah, then we go even looser because the clock is looser.
And the air in there is it's something about anyway. It's a whole different deal.
It's helium.
That's
no,
what it is?
Oh no! Wait, no. What is that thing that's legal now in Maryland?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, in Seattle. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. Danielle, I think you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi, guys. I'm from Federal Way, and I was with a nonprofit for 20 years, and I had a retirement or a 403B.
Yes, 403B. That's a type of retirement plan that is typically put together by nonprofits or educational institutions, that sort of thing. But it's like a 401k.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not at all.
But anyway, it was $109,238 when they downsized me a year ago. So they referred me to somebody else called Bankers Life Casualty Company.
Just shoot me now. Just shoot me now.
I know, right? I was just listening. Other guy that you guys were talking about, and when I heard Bankers Life, I was like, oh my goodness. So anyway, so they switched that over. So now I'm with Bankers Life, and I don't even get my regular lump sum thing until I'm 70. And if I live to 99, which I doubt, knowing my family history, I get $146.
Okay, I gotta ask you a question, Danielle. Before I'm so confused, I can't even stand it. Did they take you out of your 403B and then put you into an IRA annuity?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it must have been.
Bankers Life Casualty. I don't know.
That would be my guess, that they moved it into an IRA and they bought an annuity with those funds.
I'm confident it's in an annuity. It was
good?
No, it's terrible.
No, it's not good.
It's terrible. It means, though, here's the problem. It means they've sucked you into a black hole from which it's very difficult to escape. Even gravity doesn't escape from annuities. The only way out of this thing is to pay them a hefty surrender charge.
How long ago did you buy it? How long ago did you move the money into Bankers Life? Roughly.
Probably about 4 months ago.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, goodness is right.
You're going to have a friend for a long time. I mean, or you pay the surrender, which is probably 8%, 9%, whatever,
6 or 7 probably
of the money. So that means you're going to take $6,000-$7,000 out of your $100,000 and hand it off.
And
to
this
them.
is the perfect example of why I hate this industry with a passion, and I wish the various states' insurance commissions would recuse themselves because of conflicts of interest from even managing these companies. Because they lie to people. They do things they shouldn't. I bet you have no idea what the fees are for this annuity.
Not really.
Bet you have no idea what you paid this person in a commission. I was going to say another word, but I said person.
What does 1% per deferral period?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Here's my suggestion. You go find a fee-only fiduciary to at least look at the situation to help you understand where you are and your options.
Because what you have is going to be very, very, very difficult for you to understand. And that's on purpose. That's part of the sales pitch. It's really bad that they do this to people, but they did it to you, and I hate that they did it. You need to find a fee-only, 100% fiduciary advisor who can go over it and tell you what you can do to get out, what you're in, how bad it is.
And you can go to dfaus.com, dfaus.com. And in the lower part of the page, you put in your zip code. They send you some people that you could call and talk to about this situation.
Right.
That would be my take.
Yep, I'd do it.
Sorry, the
Daniel,
news isn't
thanks
better.
for the call. Yeah. Tim, you're up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, how you doing, Don?
Good.
How's it going?
Good. What's up?
Hey, listen, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
About three accounts. This is for my son. I called in and spoke with you before. You gave him some pretty good advice. He's looking at setting up IRA or get into mutual funds.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking at 3 funds here. He's looking at Vanguard. I think he said it was a Vanguard 500 or something like that. And he was looking at a Fidelity Magellan, and he's looking at Charles A. Schwab. Which one you think would be best for him? He's 24.
Okay, I toss Magellan right out the window. Gone.
Why?
Done. Actively managed.
Yeah, it's very similar to the S&P 500. It's actively managed. There's a stock price, way more expensive. This is a fund that was sort of the poster child for active management until it went out of favor. I don't know, 15, 16. I think one time was the largest mutual fund in the world, maybe 18,
when
19 years ago.
Peter Lynch was running it. Yeah,
and then it went down. So no, I would not use that fund. And at Vanguard, I wouldn't use the S&P 500 either. I would use the Vanguard Total World Stock Index Fund, VTWSX. I think for a young person, you could probably, over the next 50 years, get double digits if you just had. I mean, you might. The odds are relatively good.
The thing is, he's 24. He should be in almost as aggressive a stock portfolio as he can afford to be. But the nice thing about the Total World Stock Index is that the diversification is massive. So even though he's got this high risk of owning all these stocks, that is mitigated. The volatility is mitigated by the fact that you own U.S. and international, you own small companies and large companies, you own a little bit of everything. So you participate in the global economy, and it's the best way, in my opinion, and Tom's, to participate in the global economy for a young person. I would absolutely go that direction. Or if he doesn't have enough money to do the VTWSX, the mutual fund, have him do VT, which is the ETF that he can do for less than $80
and
per contribution.
Kudos for you for getting your young person started. Yeah. I mean, this is a big part of the challenge is getting people. That's why we recommend Acorns, for example, because it requires no discipline. You simply set it up, the money comes out of your account, gets invested at a very low cost. I love Acorns and Vanguard with those low cost and index funds. Great ways to start. How much?
Magellan's cost 0.68%.
Yeah. You're just buying the S&P 500 for 7 times more. Doesn't make sense.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
We mention 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255 throughout the podcast. But you need to know that you can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Leave your question, and those will be answered in special Talking Real Money podcasts that will appear on this particular site in the future. So give us a call, 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
And as we prepare to head over to KVI for the next hour of the show, you can still call us at 855-935-TALK. I do want to remind you, if you want to get this whole process of planning for retirement right, including the building of wealth and creating an income stream and doing it based on solid science at the lowest costs, you need to come to Retire Meet North in Everett on May 5th. It's, about 40 tickets are left, and you can get those discount presale tickets right now at retiremeet.com, retiremeet.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately, consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestry, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.